Hey there, my name is LexC. I am a music artist and producer based in Atlanta, Georgia. To book studio time or get help with production and development, follow me on social media at LexCATL. Email me at lexisolo@gmail.com. Text at 404-692-1299 or go to my website at LexCATL.com. Right now, you're tuned into my podcast, LexCHAT, a show dedicated to music and entertainment where we talk about the industry and the business, and we help each other to become better artists and better creatives. You can catch these chats live on Instagram to be part of the conversation at LexCATL, or catch the replays on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. Wherever you're watching or listening, please like, subscribe, follow, and engage with the content by leaving comments and reviews. If you'd like to go the extra mile in supporting me, then please consider becoming a patron of mine at patreon.com/LexCATL, where you can make a monthly pledge. Every bit of support truly does help me to be able to create more valuable content for you. This week on LexChat, I'm sitting down with manager and radio host Maximillion of Game Changers Radio to chat about what it means to stay true to yourself in this industry and how much you're willing to stick to your authentic self, or how willing you are to conform to industry norms. This is an interesting topic because I see it all the time, how artists, especially newer rappers, will try to make what they think is going to pop versus what they actually like versus a sound that they've actually spent time building. They don't even give themselves time to build a sound. When we're in their studio, their music sounds exactly like everything that's already out there, and they don't want to tell a personal story because they don't think it's going to sell, and they don't even really know how to tell a story. I've also gone through a period of time where I was trying out the sound of the current trend, despite the sound that I had already started building for myself, just to see how it would perform, just to see how people would react to it. And funny enough, I got more like quick response from the rap stuff than my R&B stuff. So that was really interesting to me. But yeah, I feel like I've always stayed true to myself, and I think that every artist should have that opportunity to experiment and figure out what they like and what is their true self. But Derek, tell me why you wanted to talk about this today. Why did you want to talk about this today?
Because it's you. I mean, this conversation is really about you.
Oh, okay.
Because
we're going to roast Lexi today.
No, it ain't like roast Lexi. No, it's just... You, I know you. Mm-hmm. We've been knowing each other a long time. I know how you think. I know, so you're a good case study for it. You know, you're a good person to use that as an example of why I be saying what I be saying about people dumbing themselves down. Mm-hmm. But my question, and I'll see you somebody that I can ask because you do it. How far are you willing to raggedy up your creativity to do that? Mm. Raggedy up, that's my word.
And that's the conversation for today.
Yeah.
If that sounds like something you'll be interested in hearing more about, stay tuned.
Goddamn, raise your hand if you working hard. Goddamn, raise your hand if you know you say, yeah. She work, hey, she work, hey, she work, okay, yeah. She work, hey, she work, okay, hey.
All right.
I was looking at listening to an interview on social media, and Nicki Minaj was talking about how it used to be when she became an artist. She said you had to have talent. If you did not have talent, a label, you had to have talent. There was very few artists that had enough talent for a label to take them. Mm-hmm. Okay, now, in the way it is now, you don't even have to have any talent. You don't have to be able to rap. You don't have to be able to sing. You don't have to be able to do anything.
You just got to be
popularity
marketable.
contest.
And you got to be marketable.
Yep. If you got to be popular. If they can dress you, if you got 2 million, 3 million followers, and they can dress you up and put the auto-tune on you and make you sound like you can do something, and
you're willing to uphold that.
What's amazing to me is some of the songs be garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage. It ain't even about music no more, really. It's a popularity contest. If they a popular person, they can get up there and sing Old MacDonald in reverse, and these people will go see them and pay thousands of dollars. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But
so when you say that, who is a specific example that you're thinking of? Or what have you seen over the years of that being the case? Because I've seen it over the years too.
I see it all the time. I mean, I don't want to bust out no artists and just, but you know as well as I do. There's most of these artists aren't talented.
Yeah.
Most of the artists now they're not really back when we was first started doing it back in the day, they wouldn't have even been able to get a deal. Yeah. They would not even. They
would have been rejected.
Yeah, they wouldn't even been on the table. But now the market is so saturated because everybody can do it from home and everybody can put themselves out there to where it's a popularity contest. It has nothing to do with the music anymore. If you can come up with a song and get a good challenge and people can jump around to it, you're a superstar. You used to have to actually be able to rap or sing to be a superstar in the music business.
Yeah.
So,
So now, go ahead.
And then that's what leads me to my topic. Because the industry is like that, I find that the talented, creative artists that should be taking us to the future with talent and creativity are deciding to dumb themselves down
to fit the
to fit the new music business. This is the new music business. It's what it is. This is the new music business. It don't matter, it don't matter. If you don't have the look, it ain't about the talent. Now it's the look.
Yeah.
If you got the look
and the numbers,
all the rest of that shit don't matter.
Well, no, because you can buy numbers. So
No.
No.
Oh, if you're willing to buy the amount of numbers you're gonna need to do to flip it like that, then yeah, you gonna spend some money because them numbers ain't cheap. If they want to buy some numbers, them numbers don't come cheap.
Yeah, and to make it look like a consistent
and to make it look real, and they ain't bots. The real numbers. That stuff don't come cheap. So.
All right. So, you said you think of me as a case study.
You have always been my case study ever since you did.
Okay.
Which one of them little crappy songs it was you did? Oh, I'm
that
sorry.
I would personally call the rap songs, the two rap
That's
songs
what I'm talking about.
I would personally call those my most mediocre work.
Those are crappy. Those are the crappy songs I'm talking about.
They're the most terrible songs that I've ever done.
You are.
It was and for y'all, it's All Keeps and Motorboat.
Motorboat.
In my opinion, my most mediocre song.
Motorboat.
Motorboat is fun though.
Motorboat was ridiculous.
Yeah,
ridiculously dumb.
I said it in the intro. Getting real ignorant
coming from you, coming from as talented a person as you, that was not good for me. And I'm an old school R&B head at heart. So
yeah. And me too. Like, cause I grew up with the '90s R&B. There's a lot of soul and feeling in that R&B. Even if what they were talking about was like scandalous, they just had a way of presenting it that nobody seems to have these days, because nobody knows how to properly tell a story.
No.
And a lot of people don't even care about the quality anymore. But my whole experiment with the rap thing was, I see it all the time in the studio. These rappers come in, oh, I just started rapping 3 months ago. I just started rapping a year ago. And they're listening to what's on the radio and what's getting the attention, and they're like, oh, they think it's easy. I could do that. And so they end up talking about the same exact things. They come in, they're freestyling, they're pulling beats from YouTube. They don't come in knowing any kind of story or feeling that they want to capture. They just get on a beat and throw anything on there and see what happens.
Right.
Part of me was jealous of that because I always felt like I take too long to write songs because everybody's trying to move so fast.
No, you actually write songs.
I actually write.
You actually write songs. These are not songs. These are.
So it's that what the rappers are doing, but also when I'm getting in rooms with people who are at higher levels than me, they're not writing either. They're also freestyling. But the difference with them is they've been doing this for years. They wrote for years before they started doing freestyling. That's why they can just go off the top now, because they have that repertoire of wording and vocabulary to make it a good song. Even
doing that, and Wayne, that's all he's ever done. But the thing
Wayne
about
used to write.
Wayne freestyle. He go in there and freestyle, and then he might write it down after the fact. And Jay-Z do too. Jay-Z always have freestyle. But my thing is, I'm thinking about Jay-Z and not Wayne. But Jay-Z always have freestyle. I'm thinking about Jay-Z, not Wayne. But Anyway, it's a popularity contest, and now you got so many people doing it, and even the ones that are trash doing it, the ones that are good, decent are doing it. They no, everybody's just jumping on the same bandwagon. I like to go to something simple. Back in the day, record come on, you knew who it was when you heard it. You knew who it was.
Unique.
If it was Luther, you knew it was Luther. If it was Mary, you knew it was Mary. If it was R. Kelly, you knew it was R. Kelly. If it was
Mariah.
you just by Mariah, you just name them. You knew, and we can name millions of artists, but you knew who they were. Now, I don't know who nobody is. I gotta have somebody beside me. Who is that? Because they all sound exactly the same. That's my point. Everybody's trying to sound like everybody else. The few that really jump out and go, they the ones that try to do something a little different, which is what everybody should really do. Nikki was different, but Nikki come from the older model.
Yeah.
But Nikki came out different. Her sound was different. The way she did her music was different. Everything was different. And if you look at some of these artists now that are kind of like when Megan came out, Megan was a little different.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, she's a little different with the way she came with it.
Yeah.
You know,
and she, after Cardi, was like one of the better artists that came out in a long time. People were excited for Cardi because it had been so long after Nicki.
Right.
For a female rapper that actually stuck. And then Megan, I think it's also because she had the natural body.
Right.
And she could actually rap, and she was saying stuff, and she's naturally pretty. People want that natural look again. So I think the talent is going to come back. It's just there's so much BS out right now that has to be sifted through. But I do want to shift it back to how are we keeping this a topic of staying true to yourself? Because I know for me, with the whole rapping thing, I just wanted to try a new writing style. And I started out by imitating what I saw the rappers doing when they came into the studio. So for me, I always felt like I was writing songs too slow. And then I always thought, well, these people come in here, they've only been rapping for a few months, but they seem to have so much more confidence than I do in what they're doing. So maybe I should just take a little pressure off of myself and try their method and see what happens. And it was fun, but if you ask me, it's my most mediocre.
One of the statements you made to me when I was asking you why you would do it, you told me because, damn, I had a brain fart. Give me a second. You told me the reason that you was doing it is because you wanted to get their attention, so you wanted to do something on their level to get their attention.
And try their methods and see.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you said, but no. That's what I'm saying, no.
But that's what got people's attention, though.
Yeah,
Funny enough.
Kind of, sort of.
I put the same amount of marketing behind All Keeps that I did for Bedroom and Love Chaser. I got just under 30,000 with Bedroom and Love Chaser. But with All Keeps, I got just under 100,000.
But your true fans that know your talent and creativity, you ran off. You're running them off. And when you get ready to go back, and you was doing that to get some attention, so you could go back to doing your real music, what you really want to do. They gonna be gone.
So?
Yeah, because the type of artist that you were is what we listen to. That type of you that you becoming is not what we listen to. So we know. I've been telling you for a minute. Where's the real R&B? When is you gonna do a real song? When is the real music at? You know. So you get, and I know Maurice Beats because I was on some lives when I heard him say the same things to you.
Yeah.
See, we true fans.
Yeah.
We believe in you 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when we hear, we know what you're capable of. So when we hear that, it don't work for us. I mean, the new you'll catch these new people because that's what they do. That's what they do. Whether it's good or bad, they don't care. It's just it's not about talent anymore. If you can master the board and you can find somebody that looks good and they can carry a tune or ride with auto tune, you can make a star. Nowadays, it's not talent has nothing to do with it.
Do you think too many people have access to the technology to be able to get into it now?
Of course.
Because I feel that way too.
Of course. That's what happened.
I actually kind of want the whole gatekeeper culture to come back because at least talent was being vetted and the people that were being pushed were actually singing. They were actually dancing. They had the artist development and the training to handle the stardom.
That's what happened.
Yeah, too many people.
Too many people got access. The internet, all that, when it came and they let it just run free, that's what happened. That's what killed the music business. You do not have to have a lick of talent. I don't want to call no names, but I could name some. But you don't have to have a lick of talent, and you can be making millions and millions of dollars now. And that's just the nature industry of the web with anything. They got people making money doing all kinds of stuff now because it's out there. People seeing it, they putting it out there, and people doing it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I ain't got no problem with people making their money. Yeah. But I would like for the music industry to actually be music. Real, true, creative, talented people.
The industry is so... I love music. I don't love the music industry.
I don't think nobody really loves the industry.
And what irritates me about the music industry is everybody knows how dirty it gets, but they continue to play the same game. And so I tend to not associate with a lot of industry stuff. So the way that I'm thinking right now is I really believe that artists need to just think of themselves as a business, as an entrepreneur. Like, think of yourself as a business.
I agree.
You, the actual artist, you are the brand, and you are the business. How are you going to make your business profitable? What kind of skills or services are you going to have that's going to be something you can monetize? And then how are you going to go find your customers or your clients to make yourself a successful business?
Yeah, you're able to brand your catalog
for artists, and you are a business.
You're able to brand your whole catalog as that.
Yeah.
Like Ashanti just did.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Music is the product.
Yeah, that's her product. She branded it. So
I think when people have issues with staying true to themselves, it's because they don't want to do the legwork of figuring out how am I going to market myself and what I like to do. And then a lot of them, they don't even give themselves the time to develop a sound and figure out what they actually like to do. They're just trying to jump on these trends to make it quick. But even that, if you wanted to be a smart business person, that's not a smart thing to do.
When we had true talented artists, and you had to be truly talented, and you released something and you pushed it and you worked it and you do all of that. Now the industry is not about that. The industry is about popularity. That's why now artists are, I'm releasing 30 records in 30 days. I'm releasing a record a month
and
for the next, because they no. They be 30 records in 30 days. They be ridiculous with it. I mean, some of them dropping a record every other week.
And
just dropping records.
That would work, in my opinion.
It works in popularity.
No. That would work if they took the downtime that traditional artists took of like 2 years. You don't hear anything from them because they're
touring and working and pushing the products they got out.
In the 2 years, they're not even doing that yet. In the 2 years, they're just building up a catalog. And then, okay, I want to drop something once a week, so that means I need 52 songs. I need to be recording and developing for 2 years and pick 52
said they're going to record and develop and create 52 good songs.
Exactly.
No.
You might record 200 songs in 2 years, but you got to choose from that 200.
Oh, yeah, that's how you did it back in the day.
And then that's when you come out with, all right, you present it as if it's going to be a challenge.
That's how you do it.
Really, everybody behind the scenes knows we prepared this for a long time.
Yeah.
And the public just thinks, oh my God, they're doing amazing every single week, But you took that time to have those throwaways and those crappy songs, and you chose the best of the 52 to release. That's how I think people should be thinking.
Well, my take on it is this. Back in the day, you released your album, you worked your album, you worked your records, you worked your 2 singles off your album or your 3 singles. If it got real hot, maybe 4 singles. But you worked that album for a good year before you didn't just release stuff every week, every other week. Wasn't none of that. Now, because it was about the music, it was about people getting to know you and getting to know your music. That's why when we hear them, we know their music back then. We know who they are. We know it because we heard it and we heard them. Now, it's not about It's about popularity. The way to get popular is to be seen constantly. Something
And
constantly,
what are people doing
something
to be
constantly
seen?
in their face. They're releasing a record a day or a record a week.
See, I don't
That's
think-
what they doing.
I
That's
don't
their
think the
way.
popularity portion. I'm
See, you
thinking it's
miss-
more. I think it's more they create scandal
But
to
see,
get their popularity.
but see, you
versus
missing
focusing
it.
on
No, it
music.
is a popularity because they keeping their face and they keeping their thing out there. I'm talking about
No, they
artists that are
attach themselves
I'm
to
talking about-
drama to keep
Of
them
course,
their names
of
relevant.
course. That's
and that's
why
how they maintain the
That's why
popularity.
all the reality shows and stuff and the Love and Hip Hops and they got all the artists on them, artists on all those shows because they the drama and stuff helps build their what popularity.
Yeah.
It's about popularity. It has nothing to do with the music whatsoever.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They keep their popularity by being in scandal, but the music, which is the product, which is what should take focus, they're not putting that energy.
They don't care
into
nothing about
it.
that. They don't care nothing about that.
Yeah.
They don't care what they put in.
But honestly, like we said before we started rolling, the film money is different though.
Yeah.
So just like
Yeah.
even and Rihanna just came to mind. She's in no rush. She doesn't have to release any more music if she doesn't want to.
Of course.
Unless she's under contract, of course. Or if she bought herself out. I don't know. But she's probably found out that this makeup game is a lot more lucrative and less BS to deal with. It's more straightforward business versus the music business is.
Right.
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
what you said earlier about we knew that artist and we learned about an artist because they were pushing their album and they would put their personality into the music. I wish we could get back to that.
Music is what they do.
And I
Music is
can't-
what they love, and they were in it for that.
Yeah.
These people aren't. These people aren't
people
even
not
in
in it
this
for the
for the
music.
music. They just in this to be popular. They in this, and they making the music raggedy, and it's just
It's-
tearing the music industry up because they putting out bad product.
Yeah. And me personally, I think there's an agenda attached to that as far as eroding the mindset of people, because I always talk about, well, with you and with other friends as well, nobody is really trying to feel anything, and everybody's talking about the same thing, and everybody wants to be a savage, and because of that, there's no feeling in the music.
Right.
And because there's no feeling in the music, you can't connect to anything. And that's why the music doesn't stick, because there's no personal... Somebody else wrote the song for the artist, because artists don't even care to be songwriters anymore.
That's
They
why.
just like what it looks like, the popularity of looking like a star.
That's why the songs went from 3 minutes and something to dang barely a minute and a
Barely
half
a
most
minute
of the
and a
time, because they don't have an attention span. But back when music was real and true, people wanted to hear it. They wanted to get into it. They wanted to vibe with it. They wanted the feel of it. Now, they just wanted to give them a few minutes, and it's not even about trying to make them even care about your music. It's just about being popular.
Yeah.
The whole industry is crap now. It's not even.
See. No Cap on the track says Lexi sound is unmatched and one of a kind. It needs to be heard all around and learned about. She has the ability to adapt on any beat she gets on. And I'm waiting for more stuff of hers to blow up. Much love from Vegas.
Absolutely.
No Cap on the track.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Truly creative
What's up,
artist.
Quavo? Yeah, so I wanted to address something you said earlier. So I told you said you used me as a case study.
Yep.
And I told you that even though I can admit that the rap stuff is not my best stuff, it is still a part of me. But I think
I agree with that.
I've had the freedom to, because I've also invested in learning how to record myself and develop myself on this end, I've had the freedom to be able to experiment with stuff pretty quickly.
But how does that not conflict with you though? Does that not conflict you? Because me and you have conversations all the time about how people dumb down their stuff, or how you if you at a creative level up here and you come down here and start doing creative stuff just to blend in with what's going on down here, that doesn't conflict you at all.
It used to, and then I decided to take some pressure off of myself. So now I already know that I want to create certain moods and I want to tell certain stories. I'm less restrictive on how I go about telling it now. So, in my opinion, my rap stuff still is not, it's not profound or anything. I do my best storytelling through my R&B music, but I've found a better way to be creative through, as far as party records, through the rap stuff. Sorry, the computer just went to sleep on me. I gotta make sure I keep that awake. But yeah, I think my rap stuff is a piece of me, and I'm finding a certain flow even in that, and that's evolving. My R&B stuff is straight. It's good. I know how to tell stories. I know how to do that, and I know how to sing and put harmonies together and put a story together and put that feeling behind it. Rap, in my opinion, for me, and I don't even think I'll really call it rap because it's more of a melodic thing that I do these days, but it's more of a it's just a different side of me that's being developed, and maybe it competes a little better with what we hear on the mainstream radio, which remains to be seen if I put marketing behind it. But
the creativity is gone. Now there's this.
I think if you limit it, then it's gonna stunt the growth of the artist. But like I said, I think I'm fortunate because I don't have to worry about the expense of studio recording because of what I chose to invest in, as far as learning how to record and then making those connections with different studios.
Right.
So I can explore that, whereas other artists, that barrier might be the cost, so they don't give themselves the time to develop, or honestly they probably don't even have that good of focus and discipline to kind of do what I've done. As far as I chose to go to school, like I take music very seriously. So I went to school to do music for audio engineering because I'm looking at, okay, to be an artist, okay, that's cool, but if no one else is going to do it for me, how am I going to make sure I'm going to do it for me? And so I thought, okay, recording is very expensive. Let me go to school. Let me figure out how to do the engineering aspect, and I could build my name behind the scenes and help other artists come up, but also be recording myself and make money and make a living off of that. There are so many artists who, I use artists very loosely. There's a lot of newer rappers mainly. I always pick on rappers because they just are not as professional as singers. There's a lot of newer rappers, a lot of newer artists who they don't even think to go on YouTube and say, how do I get paid for my music? Because they think all they have to do is put it up on Spotify and get 1 million streams and I'm gonna be straight. Without even researching,
they wouldn't get
you
paid.
Get paid 0.0056 something of a cent. You get paid like 5% of a penny per stream.
They don't even know what BMI and ASCAP is.
They don't even know what that is.
They don't have an idea what Sound Trust, Sound Exchange.
They don't know to think of themselves as a business and register as an LLC to protect themselves. They just don't.
Right. They're just throwing out stuff, not even knowing if you ain't registered with Sound Exchange and you're not a BMI or ASCAP member and you don't have Sound Trust and all that, you're not going to get your royalties.
Yeah.
just throw it out there.
Even on a basic level, too, they're not even interested in studying English language. So English class in high school was one of my favorite classes. It was annoying having to read all those stories and having to write those essays, but what English class teaches you is how to tell a story and how to tell it in different styles. A lot of the music sucks now because no one has a story to tell, and most likely because they don't know how to tell a story. So how can you tell people who you are and let people know your personality when you don't even know how to properly communicate it?
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, I hurt for artists with true talent because
it's hard.
They in a murky swamp.
Yeah.
And what brings the true talent out? I really hurt for the artists that might not be supermodel face or supermodel size or supermodel look, because it's all about popularity and looks now. It's all about that. If you ain't regular model size and you can sing, you in trouble.
Yeah, I think the problem is the industry looks for the look before they look for the talent. Whereas before, the music that we grew up on, they look at the talent first and then figure out, okay, how can we get people to come to it?
Because they had artist development and they invested in their artists. Nobody invests in an artist anymore. Nobody really, they don't try to develop an artist and find the real creative and the real talented artists and make them because they don't have to. They don't have to now because everybody's doing it. Everybody can do it from home. Everybody, back then you had to impress a label. If you had to get somebody to acknowledge you and bring you in, you can't. Now you just do what you want to do. So people there's no bar. There's no bar. There's no bar. So
Quavo Black says, it's not about the talent anymore. They look for your followers.
Yeah.
Which I said earlier, you can buy followers.
No, it's the popularity is the word he wants to use. They look for popular people.
They look for perception.
Yeah.
I will say that. They look more for perception, not even popularity.
No, it's popularity. Trust me. It's popularity.
But if the perception is you have a lot, if people equate followers to popularity and you can buy the followers and make it look like you're popping, then you're selling a perception. You're selling an illusion to people.
You're doing exactly what my favorite phrase have been, and you know that dazzling people with bullshit. You dazzling people. That's all they doing. They dazzling people with bullshit.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. This the perception
The
and
labels
everything.
do it too, though.
Of course they do, but they do it. But and they used to do it with talented people though.
Yeah.
Now they on the same train. They
push
just
BS in front of us.
And see, they can put as many followers on their people as they want to because they control the market. They control all of that.
And they can stream as much as they want
they
to.
Can they control all of that. They control it.
Yeah.
So they can do what they want to do. That's why we still have labels. If it were not for that, we would not even have labels. What's the use for a label now?
I don't think they're not that useful. Well, I will. They're useful for people who think that they're useful. But really, again, if artists would just think of themselves as a business, essentially you can go to the bank and get a loan.
Okay.
And that's what a
Well,
label
we know
is.
artists don't think of themselves as a business.
Well, I think they should.
This is my perfect example of why this is a dazzle people with bullshit industry and they don't care nothing about business. Time they sign, the label go out and buy them a big ass chain.
That
Okay,
costs $50.
if you a real artist or a real person that care about your business, man, I don't want no chain. I don't want no jewelry. Just give me that cash. I'll put it into my marketing and promotion. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll put it in my pocket. Or I'll do some.
I'll pay my bills for a year.
Yeah, pay my bills up for a year so I can focus on it. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? No, they want that chain because they into the perception of this industry. They into the popularity. They into that concept of dazzling people with bullshit. So, that is what this industry is now. It's a popularity contest, just like I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't get nothing about no chains. I don't care nothing about all that. I would rather have the money.
Me too.
Do the marketing, the promotion, do whatever I need to do with it. The good idea would be to take that $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, whatever they paying for the damn chain, and pay your bills up so you can concentrate. Yeah, then you can take a full year and really put your all into what you got going on.
Let me restart this camera. But one of my friends, we did a session the other day, and it was two of them. They were talking about how they just don't see how people live off of $50K a year. And it made me feel so bad because I'm like, I live off of way less. $50K could make me straight for 2 years based off of my budget.
I could take $50K and flip that shit about 4 or 5 times.
Man.
Maybe 6, 7 times. It's just you. It's what you want to. It's how you want to do it. It's what you want to do with yourself. Yeah. But they want to follow the trends and they want to be, in the limelight and all that stuff. That's cool and everything. And I ain't knocking it, but I'm just saying you trying to perceive to everybody that you're about your business. But if you really about your business, you don't care about no chain. That's not why you signing with the label. You signing with the label to build your brand and get your name out there and make your money and sell your records and put out quality product. Not to be worried about, I got the chain. All that is not. I look fly.
But you homeless.
Yeah, out there on this, out there.
The label is paying for your apartment. Out
there on the stage with the raggedy songs and and all that. But they got the chain on. This is they popping.
I think entertainment has definitely done a good job of selling that illusion to people, as far as making us believe that if you have these material things, then you're successful. And that's why it kind of sucks hearing my friends talk that way, like, man, $50K, I don't know how people do it. But I'm over here, I've developed certain systems so that I could survive off of less if I need to, because I don't need all that flashy stuff. And it would, if I had that money, I would reinvest it right back into the business. I don't have to go on extravagant things or buy extravagant things. But my point being that I don't think people have placed their values in the right places.
You're a level-headed artist. You know what
And
it takes.
it
But
makes
being
me
an
sad,
engineer and all
'cause-
that, you know how much it costs to do this stuff.
Yeah.
And
But even before I became an engineer, I don't understand why artists don't look at, because even when I used to buy albums, right? And they would have the little booklets on the inside, and you could see, before deciding to become an engineer, I didn't know what it was called until I started paying attention to the names in the booklets.
Right.
It's like, okay, so-and-so wrote this was engineered and recorded by, what does
Right.
it mean they recorded this? What does it mean they engineered it at such and such studio? Where are these studios? And then you start Googling and you start paying attention to how much the equipment costs and how much recording costs could be. And I just don't understand why, as much information as we have in this time and day, people who say they want to be artists, they don't set themselves up. They don't set that foundation for themselves.
They don't do the basics. They don't do the basic research. They don't even know that I need to be registered in these 3, 4, 5 places so I can get my money from the gate off of whatever I do.
You may as well, as an artist, go ahead and go to business school. A lot of people will think that you don't have to go to any kind of school, and you really don't if you're ambitious enough. But there's still things that you need to study. Is somebody calling?
Probably.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
Yeah,
But
it's ice cream man.
But just as far as the topic, I don't feel like you need to dumb yourself down. I don't feel like you should be doing that dumb stuff. I feel like you just need to stay true to what you do, and because see, these people wasn't in Savannah. Where was we at? Where was we at when we went to the black rally thing?
Black rally.
With SEMA TV.
Columbus.
They wasn't in that little spot in Columbus when you sung a cappella at last. When them folk you put them folks in the flow in there with that. They wasn't there. They don't understand. They don't understand how truly talented and gifted some people are, and you are. That's what I want to hear. I want to see you up there. You went up there a cappella, told them folk, I know y'all probably ain't got this, so I'm just gonna do it a cappella.
No, they had it.
But you didn't let them play it. You told them that, so I'm just gonna do it a cappella. They did it a cappella the whole time. You sung that song and you floored them folk. You floored me. I'm like, I didn't see that coming.
So I think I have a different perspective on how you're viewing the rap stuff. Yes, it was a dumbing down. What I'm doing now is more an explanation of a different side of myself.
I haven't really delved into the newer stuff. I heard that one you put a little piece of, and it was kind of interesting. But I haven't really delved. Them first 2 are the ones that really stick out to me. Because I'm like, what is LexC doing? Why is she doing that?
So I think the way that I also think about that too, right, is, and I hope I say this properly, I am developing different sides of myself. So when I go to different hold on, no sound. I thought I put this on do not disturb. Oh, I guess I didn't. So the thing that in my head, and I wish other artists would think of this too, I'm exploring different parts of myself. Like, even I've been told plenty of times, oh, LexC, you're an artist. You should just focus on being an artist. And why are you doing YouTube? Why are you doing LexChat? Why are you doing, you're doing too much? You should just focus on this one thing. But in my opinion, because I have developed myself in different areas and I've made myself versatile and I've made myself skilled across a bunch of different platforms or a bunch of different industries or aspects of the industry, when I get attention from one thing, because I've spent the time building my foundation, people are going to notice everything else that I've done because I've been building that catalog and I've been building up that history.
Well, they can say that about it. They can say that about me. Max, you got the radio station, Game Changers Radio. Max, you got your management company, Game Changers Management. Max, you got, you do a whole bunch of different stuff. Why don't you just do one thing? They you manage it. You got too many artists you manage. Maybe you want to manage one artist. No.
Say F for those people.
I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna do
all of it.
Yes.
I'm gonna do all of it because all of it makes me money. All of it is creative, and all of it is. I love this business.
And that's my point.
I love every part of this business, so I'm gonna do what I do.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. I'm gonna do all of it.
Yeah.
Because it's all feeding into the creativity.
Exactly.
So for me, I am staying true to myself. I think before it used to be an inner battle with me. It's like, people really seem like they're liking this rap stuff a lot more. So I don't want to do it, but maybe I should do it more. That used to be a battle in my head. But now I don't care. Now I'm just
that's a frustration
seeing how I can be creative.
That's a frustration.
And if they gravitate towards it, then that's cool. If they don't, I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I have to make the music that I like first and foremost. So as long as I like it, I'm going to make some people mad, to include you.
Oh, of course.
Because I'm going to be making stuff that I don't know about that, Lexi. But...
Well, that's part of the creative experimental side
that's part
of
the evolution.
You got to do that.
Yeah, that's part of the evolution.
But I'm not talking about it. You're going to do that. You're going to come up with some... You're going to try some stuff. Everybody's going to try some stuff.
And I think with talented artists, because we know the difference between people who just trying to do it just to do it versus the people who actually do love this, I think we do have to give the space and the grace to explore those things and try to see the vision when people try to evolve in different directions. Because I like to tell people the example of Kanye West, right? He was coming out with albums like College Dropout, College Registration, or Registration, that whole era. It was like the cartoon teddy bear thing, that whole era. But then he switched up and came out with 808s and Heartbreak. Completely different vibe, completely different look and feeling. And for me, I was a Kanye fan. It took me a good 5, 6, 7 times to listen to that 808s and Heartbreak album before I was like, okay, he's changing, he's evolving. And but the key is that I liked the music that he did, and I liked the stuff on that album, so I could continue being a fan of him and staying on that journey with him as a fan.
It's good
because
to
I
evolve.
can respect the evolution.
It's good to evolve, but you gotta keep the creativity and keep it, and not just start doing stupid stuff just because everybody else is doing, less than creative stuff.
But it might not be stupid. It might just be exploring a different side of creativity.
Well, exploring, you got to do that, but. I just don't.
So I would just say, don't be so quick to call it stupid. Well, even for me, I don't like the stuff that's been coming out. I hate it, actually. Look, and there's a couple artists in particular who I'm like, how the hell? But it's all strategic at the same time. I don't get it, and I wonder, am I just finally old now? Or is it really just the music is just terrible? I think the music is just terrible.
It's it's just the terrible music is outweighing the quality music out there because it's just so much out there. Ain't no bar, like I said. There's no bar. There's no bar. You don't have a bar.
Yeah. No, the bar is in hell.
You got some questions?
No.
Anybody?
They were telling me that they can't hear the sound.
So I don't know.
That's annoying. Oh, okay. Can we cancel? Yes, that's fine. She's supposed to. All right, so I don't have to do that at 7 o'clock anymore. Well, that's good. Look at there. I wonder why I even bother coming on here.
My ad. That looked good too. It looked good.
Did you put it on YouTube as well?
I haven't put it on anything but one. I put it on Instagram, but right before I left out coming over here to do this, so I haven't put it up. I hadn't really fully started running it. But yeah, we got the mixtape, Game Changers Radio Volume 1. Y'all better go check it out. There's some hot artists on there, new artists, creative artists, talented artists. No garbage. No garbage. We're gonna have a release party. We're gonna do the Game Changers Radio City to City tour. So y'all get ready. We coming.
So you said earlier about matching an artist's budget, right? Can you talk more about that?
Matching the artist budget? Well, I used to, and you know this, I used to just hit the whole bill for an artist. If I believe in you, I did all of that.
What made you
that was
believe in some of the earlier acts that you signed?
I believe in their talent. They were talented. They were creative.
How so?
So I was willing to. They knew what the music was quality. The sound was quality. The writing was quality. You know what I'm saying? No, everything was on point, like it was back in the day when music was right. You know, these artists they live, sleep, and breathe their music. But my thing, like with these artists today, they just want to just keep putting. Bask in what you just put out. Let people hear it. Let people get to know you based on it. But it's got to be quality. I think a lot of times they keep throwing out records back to back to back because they know they all garbage. So they just keeping them in people's ears, just keeping their voice in people's ears.
Now, to play devil's advocate, that is a marketing strategy.
Of course it is. For popularity. To be popular.
Not popularity, I would say for recognition purposes.
Which leads to what?
What recognition leads in front of people enough times, they're going to start being familiar with
recognition leads to what? Popularity.
Yeah.
You're going to keep going back to popularity no matter which way you turn it.
So I think your definition of popularity.
Popularity, being popular, that's people loving you. Just people
you?
Adore. No.
Okay.
Your image.
Okay.
They love your image.
I want to be careful about what we say about
they love your image.
So,
but see, what people don't understand is your image might not necessarily be you.
It's not necessarily a positive connotation to it.
But see,
so you could become popular for being trash.
Yeah, any news is good. Any kind of publicity is good publicity. Bad publicity, you know that. Yeah. Some people look for the bad publicity to make their popularity go up. That gets them there quicker. You know, controversy is always a good one, but at the end.
So Scuba Reese Music here says, I disagree. The more records you put out, the better. Consistency is the key.
If it's good music.
If it's good.
If it's good music.
Another side I would say is playing devil's advocate. Well, hopefully, as much music as they're putting out, hopefully it's getting better.
Getting better. And consistency is the key. But consistency can be put out a record, put out an EP or whatever. You're going to put out a whole project, promote the singles off of that for a good 6 months, then put out something else. It ain't got to be 30 records in 30 days, and it ain't got to be a record every week, because people are not going to get to know you like that. They're going to skip through you because they can't even get to love a record. You can't even get to love anything when you do it like when you're doing that. By the time they get to hear one, here you come with another one. I watch this every day. I'm a radio guy. I own a radio station. I got a top 20 countdown that's popular in Atlanta. I watch this every day. They put these records out back to back to back. We got a record on the countdown. It's only been on the countdown for a couple of weeks, and they already putting out another record. They ain't even giving people a chance to love the record they got out. They ain't giving a chance to push that one. No, I just think it's a waste of money. If you ask me, somebody that's been in this business and been an artist and is a manager and been in this business for a long time, it's a waste of money. It's a waste of studio time. It's a waste of money. They can try to twist it and say consistency. You can be consistent pushing the same records. It's people out here that had records out 4 or 5 years. They pushed that same record and it didn't hit the 4 years after they had it out. 4 years later, it come back around and it finally picked up some traction and became a platinum selling record.
So now, what you said earlier about how the songs keep getting shorter and shorter, I hate when people say that, people's attention spans is short, so that's why we got to make sure. I'm like, no,
the records are bad.
The music sucks.
The music is bad. The music is bad. Is why they got to shorten the songs. It's not about attention span.
It's not attention span.
I listen to that and I giggle every time somebody tell me that too.
If y'all just put out good quality music,
if you
then
put
the
out
people
good,
will listen.
Back in the day, you put out 3-4 minute song. They listen to every bit of that song with pride and respect because it was a good record. Right?
He would put out artists from back. He would put out like 10-minute long music videos, and you would sit there and watch it. Like
any other artists from back, when R&B and stuff, they records 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes long,
and you would
listen to every darn beat
because they put you in a certain space. and they take you through a story and they take you through a feeling.
But see, these younger people don't understand that because this is all they know. This is all they know.
What do they know?
This is all they know. Us having a black president was not a shock. Was a shock to us, but it wasn't a shock to them because that's all they ever knew. That might have been their first president. You know what I'm saying? The young people, this younger generation don't know. They on that short attention span. That's garbage. It's not short. The music is bad.
The music
is bad. Don't nobody want to listen to it more than 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Or the other argument people will say is, well, when you're in the club, the DJ's only going to spin it for like a minute and a half anyway. I'm like, all right, so
I used to DJ full time.
Are people in the club buying your music though, or are you also worried about the people who are not just in the club all the time? So like, what are you giving the people who are not in the club?
Boy, they used to mix them in a whole lot longer than that when I was back in the day. They played a whole darn song.
You said y'all was doing Open Up for Juvenile, right?
Yeah,
if you play Open Up for Taking Over for the 99 and 2000,
right.
If you play that song today, the DJ's gonna play the entire song.
Play all of them.
I don't even think
any old school songs the DJ put them on, they play them.
I don't think they
run them.
They don't even have good party songs.
But these new songs, they don't run them. They run them a few seconds up, flip to another, because they all on the same. Beats per minute, they all sound the same, so they can just mix them freely. Mix them freely.
Is it even a challenge to DJs anymore? Because this music sounds so much the same.
And it's all on the same beat. They just mixing songs in and out. No nobody problem. Even know they mixing them in and out because they all sound alike.
That's
beats
probably why the
close.
club's been boring in Atlanta.
It's just it's not consistency. It's not. You can be consistent and
quality.
Promote your records. It's quality of your music.
Be consistent with the quality of your music.
Quality of your music.
And then be consistent with how you're telling people about it.
Yep. Quality of your music. And if you really look at it, the older artists like the Nicki Minaj's and stuff, they don't put out records like that. They don't put out records at that rate, like one a day. 1 a week, 30 records in 30 days.
Like 3 or 4 a year.
3 or 4.
Singles a year.
That's old school compared to what these folk doing now.
Time to breathe.
You gotta at least give. Well, when you release a project, you go release some singles.
Nicki Minaj too, right? We haven't really heard an album from her yet, but she dropped like Super Freaky Girl,
singles.
Which, in my opinion, that's kind of a dumbed down thing. And then she dropped Princess Diana with Ice Spice. Love her verse on that, but she's been silently in the background. She's got songs coming out on the new Barbie movie.
You hear what you just said? That was kind of a dumbed down
thing. For Nicki Minaj, was a dumbed down thing.
What did we just start this with? What she was talking about in the interview about the music business now. There's no talent. You don't have to have no talent. Zero. You just have to be popular. She just made that statement and it's all over social media. And I've been saying that for 30 years, 20 years. And
you felt like that for 30 years?
I felt like that for a good 20 years.
I felt like it
started. I felt like after the Freaknik era, it started going downhill.
Late 90s was Freaknik?
Yeah, it started going downhill.
I feel like the last time
I'm not talking about this last Freaknik where they put it in one place. I'm talking about real Freaknik.
That was a
our Freaknik.
It was a regional.
Yeah. I'm talking about Freaknik.
I think for me, the last time, and I really need to sit down and think about this, but I feel like music started going downhill for me after 2009, after 2010.
What was the artist load then?
This was right after Cash Money took over. It was Wayne, Nicki, and Drake took over. Yeah. But then after them,
after that, right around that, I'll say I can go with that. Right around that. Yeah, that's when you had true artists. Because music was
still fun.
That's when you had
even
true
if
artists.
It was like dumb, right?
From there back,
fun music was cool
artists.
Still.
Yeah.
So the fun music that they supposedly have right now is not even fun to me. Like how do I like they have everyone's talking about shooting and killing and ops and taking someone else's man. There's no true dance music. And I was telling somebody else, there's no true teen market even.
They had their way of doing it back then, putting out a lot of records. But
you wouldn't realize just like
Master P and them, they were putting out different records on different artists with everybody doing features on the different albums. So they selling different albums and different projects
featuring on each other's stuff.
Yeah, that's how they saturated the market smartly.
Yeah.
Not just one artist putting out a record every day.
Yeah.
or every 2 days or every other week. That's too much. Yeah. You ain't even got a chance to hear the first. You ain't even got a chance to even lock in with that artist. All you just hear.
So
hearing a whole bunch of music.
How do you feel then after you saying that, where Master P's artist was taking over different markets? How do you feel about an artist who feels like they can be versatile in different sounds?
I think they should do that. Okay. There's nothing wrong with exercising that.
Yeah.
I got an artist now that does that.
Yeah.
She do the positive, motivational stuff, and she can get crunk. And she, she got an album out on one side, and she got an album out on the other side, but she only pushing a few songs. She's not trying to throw it at people all at one time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But the whole point is, consistency is definitely key, but you got to be smart with your consistency. Spending a whole lot of money going back and forth to the studio to make a bunch of little garbage 1 minute plugs and putting them out every day, every other day, it make more sense to put out one quality project or one or two quality singles and push them for 6 or 7 months, the same singles, so they get a chance to feel the song, hear you, know you, get a feel for you. Yeah. I don't know why this younger generation equates letting a song run for a while as not being consistent. It's your marketing and promotion that's got to be consistent. Yeah. Not the song.
And honestly, budget-wise, because that's something artists struggle with, you would do a lot better to get that one quality and then constantly, if you're thinking of yourself as a business, reinvesting your money into the marketing and promotion and figuring out, okay, what different avenues can I market my music on? Okay, can I get it in the club? How do I do that? Can I get it on the radio? How do I do that? Can I get it in a TV show? Can it be somebody's theme song? How do I do that? Exploring those different avenues versus just let me throw everything and see
different level,
who it hits.
Putting it in different avenues of marketing and promotion, different things in the industry to push it and promote it. The same record,
yes,
not just keep putting out. Now if you've been out and you've been established for a while and you got your fan base and you got what you need, and then you decide you want to shock people with doing something like that, it'll work. But when you're an artist that's just coming out, you just putting out record after record after record, they don't know you. They don't know you. Let them get to know you. Let them get to know a good quality record first before you start doing. Because eventually people just not going to pay it no attention. Oh, here you go with another one. Oh, here you go with another one. They just going to be bypassing this stuff.
They gain popularity for the wrong reasons. You gain popularity for being
a
trash
you can gain
artist.
Popularity for being a trash artist.
I would say Blueface. I don't know anyone who actually likes his music, but everyone can agree that he's never on beat when he does put out songs,
You called the name bad, you. Shame on you.
Yeah,
I've been wanting to call names, but I'm not calling them.
I should probably not call names.
No, you shouldn't.
I don't care.
Don't do that.
Official Mr. Flat Show 74 says popularity is key because the labels want your following. It's about how many people the label can impact.
Popularity. It's about popularity, not about talent.
Scuba Reese Music says, well, once I'm able, I'm going to push out as much money as possible. Yeah.
Is he meaning music or is he talking about money?
Music. I think he meant music.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, brother.
Yeah. I would say make as much music as possible.
Yeah. But be strategic about how you put it out there.
Yes, yeah. Yes.
You make as much music as possible.
Because another topic I'm going to get into.
Quality music. Quality music.
Another topic I'm going to get into in the future is being aware of your evolution as an artist. So, who was I talking to about this? Where it's like, suddenly you have clients who can start to hear the differences in their music. I'm going to get into this for another LexChat. But when you start to hear where you were versus how much better you've gotten, and now you start to hold yourself to a certain standard as an artist.
I see that with you.
Yeah.
Because when we first started doing shows back way when, up until you did that show in Columbus and the more recent shows, you can definitely see the maturation. Yeah. You can definitely see it.
I'm very tough on myself.
I see it. Yeah. I see it. I see it with a lot of artists. You definitely got to see some maturation. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't think a lot of the newer artists even think about that. No one really thinks about artist development in general.
Do any these minute 30, minute 40 songs? Do they realize they can't win awards with those?
And it's popcorn.
A song got to be a certain length to win an award. You can't even win an award with the length of some of these songs.
Shooting themselves in the
They shooting themselves in the foot. They don't even know that. They don't know that because most of them don't even know what BMI and ASCAP is.
They don't research.
Most of them don't know what BMI, ASCAP is, sound exchange, none of that. They don't have no idea. No idea. We already done talked about that. They don't have no idea.
Yeah.
So if they make a record and they actually do sell something, they ain't gonna get no royalties because they ain't set up on none of the places where they need to get
foundation. They didn't think about the business. No. And it's the funny thing is the money side is what attracts a lot of people, but they don't concern themselves with how to make the money.
How to get it, how the money supposed to get to them. They don't care. They just want to go out there, throw out music. It
looks cool. It looks fun.
Flashy, dazzling people with bullshit. That's what they do.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when it get time to start trying to find that money, then it's gonna be a different thing. Yeah. Then they wonder why it ain't no money coming, because you ain't registered nowhere. You ain't set up to get your money. So, well, take the time to learn the business. Take the time.
That's the
Be
gist.
consistent.
Take the time.
Of course,
to
be
learn.
consistent and make as much music, quality music. I got to put quality on. Make quality music and make as much as you want, but be strategic about how you put it out and how you market it and promote it the way it's going to be advantageous for you. If you don't, you're just wasting your time. Because I'm telling you, I'm a radio guy. I play y'all's records. I spin y'all's records. I got a top 20 countdown. And half the time, I stay on one record. They might be done release 5 more records in the month I got that one. I stay with one record because you can't let nobody get to know no artist. Keep switching the records like that. Let them feel one record first. Let them feel a record. Let them get to know you as a person, how your sound is, what you're talking about, that kind of thing. What you doing, So I don't agree with I never agree with that consistent just throwing records out there. But it's a lot of people that do. It's a lot of But to me, that's just a waste of money. They could take that money if they keep going to the studio, throwing out all them millions of records, and they could put it into their marketing and promotion.
Yeah.
And do a better job with that. Because that's where all indie artists are lacking. They lacking in marketing and promotion. They lacking in putting enough money into getting their records heard and putting their records out there in a place. Hey, take that money that you're going to do messing around with one of them singles or them 56 singles you're going to throw out. Put your billboard up. Do something like that. Put your billboard up for 2 or 3 months. Let somebody see you. Your whole little proposal you got going on or whatever. But you can't put all 56 songs on it. You're going to be able to put one or the whole or the EP or whatever. You can't put 56 songs on there now. But you know what I'm saying. Y'all get the gist of what I'm saying. But you got to be smart and strategic how you spend your money in this industry. And they got y'all brainwashed to think the smart thing to do is to throw out all them songs at one time, but that really is not really a smart thing to do. Be strategic about it. You could put 2 or 3 out there. Be strategic and let them hear you. 2 or 3 different styles, maybe. If you got 2 or 3, if you're real creative and you got, give them some different styles of yourself. Yeah. But I think a month is too much. I think you put your couple of singles out there and work them for at least 6 months before you start throwing out more music. That's my take on it. By all that other stuff, like I said, if you're an established artist and you just want to make a bang and you done been out a while and you got a big following and it's a real following, it's not fake and everything is good, and you want to do something like that just to, get a fan something, that's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But a brand new artist is out the gate that's just trying to get known and just trying to get themselves, no, that's not smart. That's not smart. Unless you come into the game with a big ass budget. I don't know a lot of indie artists that walk in the door with a big ass budget.
Not so many.
But we got way off a subject, didn't we?
I'm gonna rename this episode something else because we dabbled in staying true to yourself, but this
Yeah.
turned more into a think of yourself as a business and market and promo type of.
You name it,
Which is
whatever
cool.
you want to name it.
So an organic conversation.
But well, I knew it was gonna lead to that. I remember I told you that in the text. I said we gonna end up getting into all kind of stuff because people gonna ask questions, and it's gonna take you other places. But
Yeah.
I just really wanted to know. I just really wanted to hear your because you my case study. I just really wanted to know why.
I feel like you didn't really ask me questions though.
I asked you some.
But you didn't stay on that. Do you have any other questions about it, or did I answer your questions?
You answered some of them.
Okay.
I mean, the main thing I wanted to know was like, don't that make you? I mean, don't that make you feel some kind of way though?
Does what make me feel
dumbing when you feel like you dumbing yourself down.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dumbing your music down like that. I mean, that's the main thing I want. How do that make you feel?
Yeah, I did answer that,
Yeah.
but to reiterate for anybody that's just tuning in, it definitely used to be a battle in my head for sure. Used to be a battle, and me feeling like I'll put my best out there for it not to get the attention that I want it to get, versus I'm doing something mediocre that really don't feel like nothing, just threw it out there, and that gets more traction than the stuff that I put my heart and soul into.
You get out there, stand on your head and do a video to it and everything, and it'll probably go double platinum.
Nah, if I twerk, get naked on it.
With short titty, yeah.
But and that's not even the imagery that I'm really on.
Exactly,
either,
that it's a shame that's what the music business has come to. Creativity, good music doesn't matter. It's the show, it's the popularity. It's just getting something that's going. Yeah,
the perception of it all.
Dazzling people with bullshit. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But no, I feel like. Well, do you feel like you've even touched the true limit of your creativity when it comes to R&B?
No.
That's why I'm so looking
question.
forward to hearing this new project.
That's a good question.
Because I want to see what your maturation is.
Yeah. I think
From
you'll
the
definitely
old
hear it
project.
in this new
From some of
project.
the snippets I've heard it. But be honest with you, I some of them I think you done incorporated a lot of this.
A lot of what?
New stuff. This new thing.
See, I would disagree.
Which takes it a little bit away from R&B. Just a tweet away from
Do
R&B.
you remember which one you heard? That's
It was a couple of them that I've heard. You've been previewing them like one at a time.
Yeah.
And I've been hearing snippets. It was a couple of them there. But I can't go by this little snippet. That's why I said I got to hear it.
Sure you can.
That's why I said Alpha first. Well, when I heard All Keeps and But
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not gonna pass no judgment because I know you're very creative. I know what you do. I want to hear the whole thing. I want to hear the whole songs. The snippets, a lot of times, they'll throw you off because a lot of times the snippets be the hook, and the hook you want the hook to be catchy. You want the hook to be on a popular type of flavor, but the rest of the song might be totally built different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to hear the thing.
Okay.
I've been trying to get it listened to the project. I'll definitely buy it just because I always buy, certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Being with the radio station, I get a lot of stuff. I get most of the stuff free, but I still support artists, that I mess with. I support them. I'll go and buy it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Which part, Alan? You gotta tell me which part. But yeah, did you ask me another question? Did I not answer something?
I talk too much. I don't know. I just expound on how you feel about the subject that we're supposed to be talking about, because that's really key. I mean, I've seen you create. I've sat there and watched you create. I've seen you create. I walked in there needing you to do me a theme song, and you knocked that thing out in 2-3 minutes.
Thanks.
So I've seen you. I know what you're capable of. So. I just don't know what do you feel like? When do you feel like it's comfortable for you? I mean, what do you feel like? What do you feel like the max you will sell out?
Okay, so when you say sell out,
Dumb down.
what does
Dumb down.
sell out to you means dumb down?
Dumb down. That's a sellout to me.
So where I am
Anytime
now, when I did All Keeps and I did Motorboat, I felt like that was me selling out.
Sell out.
Yeah.
Big time.
But the stuff I've been doing now, I don't feel that it's me selling out.
I haven't heard it. Like I told you, I haven't really heard it. I think that probably you trying to be creative with it now. But I haven't heard any of that, so I can't.
Yeah, before there was no thought behind All Keeps and Motorboat. It was just literally, what's the first thing that comes out to my mind? Don't overthink it and just put it out there, because that's what I've seen the rappers do. So I experimented with it.
Yeah, you watch them when they come in there, so you see how they do it.
Let's see. Alan was agreeing with you on your take with, I guess, my album or the R&B. Mm-hmm. Your music you put out is not the R&B that represents you, but it is scrubbed down to liken it to this new stuff, which is dumbed down.
It's dumbed down.
And I would disagree. I would disagree. I would have to disagree with that. Huh?
To an extent, you would disagree.
No, I would disagree.
Oh, on your R&B?
Yes.
On your R&B. You don't feel like you done dumbed down no R&B?
No. But then again, y'all haven't heard.
That's what I told you from the snippets. I don't know. I'm not gonna pass judgment on that yet, because I told you I haven't heard enough of it. Yeah. But a couple of the songs I heard the snippets of, it did sound a little bit like you went a little bit off of your usual R&B sound thing.
So I will say, I definitely did go off a little bit.
You tried some different stuff, for sure.
I've done sounds that I'm not used to doing, but I've been wanting to explore, because I don't want to stay in one.
Well, being creative.
One part of
being creative
R&B.
is not dumbing down.
Yeah, and the artists that I grew up listening to, they didn't stay in just a certain pocket of R&B.
Oh no. So being creative is not dumbing down. That's not dumbing down at all. I really haven't heard you dumb down your R&B. I was just hoping that you wouldn't. That's why I'm so much waiting to hear this new stuff, because that'll tell me. Because you've been on my tours and I've seen you on stage. I've seen you perform your songs. I've heard all your music. I know all your records. So I will be able to really get a good feel for it when I hear the new one.
Yeah, I believe so. So Alan says, give us the songs that are you. And so what I was telling you earlier is, when it comes to the people who are actually talented, we have to give that space and that grace for that evolution period or that experimentation period, right? Everything that I'm giving is me. Y'all just probably not gonna like certain parts of me that I'm deciding to finally put out. So as far as I don't feel like I'm dumbing myself down. I'm exploring whatever I feel like exploring. And if people don't like that,
creativity
okay,
is not
don't listen
down.
to those songs.
You know me, I'm gonna listen to what I like.
And Alan, I'm not sure who you are. I have to ask if you listen to my music even.
On the first album, which song did you feel like you made use of all your ranges in?
All of my ranges, my vocal ranges.
Vocal ranges.
There's a song on there called "Dirty Underwear" that I go there vocally.
I like Imagination.
Imagination is not my full range.
I think you went where you did your Mariah Carey thing on that. You went up
falsetto,
there.
Yeah,
you went up there. You don't do that on a lot of records.
But belting, Dirty Underwear.
I bet people probably don't even. No, you don't really do that. But I bet people probably don't even know you got Mariah Carey type range, because they probably ain't never heard Imagination or any of those songs where you actually go up there and do that. See, I've heard it,
and that's where
that's my favorite song on that first joint.
Sometimes people, and not to pick on you, Alan, I just don't know who that is. Sometimes people will not listen to the stuff and make judgments, but this is a great opportunity for me to plug that everything is available on streaming platforms.
Yes, it is.
So please go listen to it.
Well, as y'all can see, I listen. I've heard every.
And if you tell me that you've listened to my music and you feel like I've dumbed down, then okay, I have to accept that criticism.
Your R&B, not
R&B
so far.
has not been dumbed down at all, though.
Not so far.
So I'm very curious about why he said that. Now, Dunlap said to play my song Real Hitters for you. I'm going to keep it PG. Hitters is a substitute for some other word. I'm sure you can figure that out. That, how do I explain that one? That's not necessarily my most R&B. It sounds, in my opinion, Real Hitters sounds like what's out right now. Like what people are calling R&B right now.
Yeah, well, see, that's what a lot of these young people are. What these people are calling R&B now is not R&B.
I wouldn't consider it.
It's not R&B. It's not R&B.
Maybe
can
I call it trap soul? I don't know.
You can call it a new. It's the new R&B.
It's a new hybrid.
I don't know what they got. Whether they got a name for it or not.
I don't know.
It's the
they
new
just call
R&B.
it R&B, and it's not exactly R&B.
No, it's not. They do have some artists that do R&B, like hour after hour after hour, whatever. That was R&B.
Money
Long. That was R&B.
Hours and hours.
But see, I like creative and unique artists. The artist here from Marietta. Mark, she got a real funny sounding name.
Amaretta. She's a rapper.
Marcel. What is her name? She's from Marietta.
I'm terrible. Don't ask me about artists. I'm terrible.
She's an actress too. She was in that. She was in the movie with the little special that came on BET about the Underground Railroad. She was in that. She was the fancy. Did you even see that? You didn't see it.
No, I'm very
Marcel. What is her name?
I don't know.
She's very creative with her music, though. She's very, very creative with her music. But I can't never pronounce her name.
I don't know.
And she's an actress.
I'm also
and she's
not
been
the
in
best
film.
person to ask about newer artists because I don't really listen to people.
She's been around for a little bitty minute. But her music is different. She's more poppy. She's got her own little thing she do.
Wait, is this Greg? You gotta tell, because what your name is on here is not what your name is in real life. So you gotta tell me. I see the 302, so I think that you're Greg. And have you heard all of my music? I actually did, when my grandmother passed away, Greg was the pianist who played at the funeral, and I sang Why Do You Cry by Kirk Franklin.
Have y'all heard her gospel song? Have you heard the gospel song? It's fire Greg? Too. See, I'm a true fan. I done heard everything. That gospel song.
I write a lot of gospel music now. Well,
what is it? Smoke and Mirrors is the name of that one, right? Smoke and Mirrors. That thing right there.
It is a little weird, but I've stopped thinking about that aspect of maybe I'm messing up my branding by doing that, but honestly I don't care anymore. I think it is a little weird that I went from my R&B to the rap to the gospel, and now I'm
ain't nothing wrong with doing a little gospel song. I don't think it's anything wrong every once in a while. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You did it completely separate from everything else.
He says gospel is my lane. That would be a first.
You did it completely separate from everything else. You promoted it completely different from everything else. I didn't see it promoted way out by itself. Smoke and Mirrors, y'all need to check that out. That's a good record.
That is.
You went there. You went there on that one.
That's an emotional one.
You went there. You went up there a little bit on that one. You did a little bit. You ranged on that one, but you didn't do the Mariah stuff. But you went up. You went up. You don't do a lot of howling. You ain't no Jennifer Hudson. You don't do all that. A lot of that.
I belt, but I don't
do a lot of that.
I don't do the howling. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said you would kill gospel. Why won't you say that your name is Greg, Alan? He talk about Oh my gosh. Anyway. Mango 7K says Smoke and Mirrors is amazing. It's the truth.
Oh yeah, Smoke
Alan
and Mirrors
said I would
real.
kill gospel. I've been writing for a gospel artist.
That's probably what gave you the idea to do the gospel song, man.
No, actually, Maurice Beats wanted to do a whole gospel album, but I just wasn't in a good headspace to do it. But Smoke and Mirrors was at the time, because he sent like a folder of beats that he wanted to be included on the gospel album. But Smoke and Mirrors was the one that I resonated with the most, and so that's how that came to be, and it turned out to be a single.
Smoke and Mirrors is a darn good record. Yeah. That's a good record. I listen to that a lot for inspiration when I get in my moods.
Yeah. I do falsetto in that one too. My entire range is in that song.
Yeah, you didn't go up there though, did you?
Ooh, oh, glory to God.
Oh yeah, when you was doing
There's parts in there.
when you was doing the riffs. Yeah. I remember that part.
That shows my full range.
The riffs. You didn't do a lot of those.
I did
Toward the
a
end.
lot in that song.
Toward the end.
Yeah, that's a good song. I like that song.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually, Maurice Beats was the one that was like, let's do a gospel album, but I wasn't in the mindset for that just yet. But Smoke and Mirrors is what came from that time period. And then there's a guy named, you met Rodney, who works at the studio, and he introduced me to one of his clients, and she's a gospel artist, and she was looking for a songwriter. And I hadn't written for a gospel artist yet. I knew I could do it for me, but I also want to make sure I'm writing for other people as well. And that kind of started as an experiment too, to see if I could do it. I'm doing it. And yeah, I've been writing for her for a few months now, writing a whole project for her.
Is that the one you had on singing when you were on live one day?
The other day.
Yeah.
Most
okay.
Likely. Yep. So yeah.
Yeah, because you were guiding her through it. Yeah, you wrote that.
Yeah.
Because I could tell by the way you were showing her how to sing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her name is Donna Smith. Check her out. And she's doing like promotion on everything and music videos. So I'm really happy with what she's doing. And it allows me to explore a different side of myself creatively. So yeah, as far as staying true to yourself, I believe that there can be multiple truths at once. Lex, go into CCM and you will blow up. Something Christian, contemporary Christian music, is that what that stands for?
Contemporary Christian music.
Like a Karen Hawthorne or
Corinne Hawthorne, man.
Corinne
She great.
Hawthorne, yeah.
She great. I love her.
The guy who produced her song, Won't He Do It?
Won't He Do It? That's my jam.
He owns one of the studios that I work out of. So yeah, I know him.
That's good music, bro.
People.
She got some good music.
Yeah.
But I was defending her.
Karen Hawthorne? Corinne?
I was defending her on the live the other night because they were talking about how she dressed and how she's so worldly, the way she dressed. I said,
Christians always got that.
Yeah, I'm defending the heck out of her. I'm like, she look like a normal kid. I mean, like a normal person. She's not dressed no kind of way. She blood ain't out or nothing. They be killing me with that.
Christians can have chips on their shoulders quite often. But yeah, any last words you want to say as far as staying true to yourself?
Now you answered most of my questions. I'll try to come up with some more after the fact, like I always do.
Let me know. I'll address those too. I think, because for me, staying true to yourself is just, you got to give yourself the time and the space to discover what you like and try different things. See what works, see what doesn't work. And the things that do work, hone in on those things. And I think that's what I've been doing. Once I decided to stop tripping so much and worrying so much about marketing and branding and if I switch music then people are going to feel away. Because I'm not making music for anybody for real. I'm making it for me.
Of course.
And there is an audience out there. I just have to do the work, a better job of finding the audience or putting my music in front of that audience. But everything that I do is me. Now, I might be a different case because that's what I like to do. I don't like faking anything for anybody, which is also why I don't think I fit in the industry that great. Because as far as like how the industry tries to sell perceptions to people, I would rather be what I am versus trying to make people believe something that I'm not. So for me personally, the type of artist I am, anything you hear is a piece of me. And that's how I stay true to myself. How I stay true to myself is by exploring those different avenues and putting it out there. It is a piece of me. And everything that I talk about in the music is something I've gone through or something I've observed. So I'm staying true to myself. For other artists to stay true to themselves, I would encourage them to do the same thing. But if you're worried about making money off of it, you're already starting off bad in music because you're probably going to take at least 5 years before you see any profit in music. I'm going on year 10, and I'm just now starting to pop off in some different ways. So that's 10 years of consistency. And it's like, are you willing to be consistent for that long? And of course, it's an up and down roller coaster with music. It can be a love-hate relationship sometimes, but like I said in another LexChat that I just recorded, I've quite literally given 26 years of my life to music. Since I was 3 years old, it has not stopped. So if you're not willing to play the long game and you're not willing to go that long with music, then this is probably the wrong industry for you. Or you better have a good exit plan, depending on how you approach it. What do you think about what I just said?
You're absolutely right. I think, and for you guys just getting into it, I recommend you don't get caught up into that, just releasing, and think about being smart and strategic when you do release something, and concentrate on your marketing and promotion. No indie artists don't concentrate on marketing and promotion enough. If you got a budget, let's say you got a budget $2,000 for studio, you need to split that in half. Half of that you need to spend on marketing and promotion or whatever you're going to do in the studio. Because if you're going to go in the studio and spend all that in the studio and not do no marketing and promotion, you just wasted your time. Mm-hmm. You just completely wasted your time and money because nobody's going to hear it. You got to put it out there. And believe it or not, you can do a lot with $1,000 with marketing and promotion.
Do so much.
People think you can't, but you can. Do a whole lot of promotion.
Thanks to social media, it's very cheap
Yes.
to promote on social media.
Yes.
Now, you got to get smart about who you're targeting, but it's very cheap to promote on social media.
The analytics of it, yeah.
Oh, look at them analytics. Yeah, but thank you so much, Maximillion of Game Changers Radio, for
Y'all
coming
go
back
pick
on to
up
LexChat.
that mixtape. I don't know when it's coming out, but it's coming out in June. I haven't got the final
Y'all doing
release
a
date
rollout.
yet, but
Doing a
we just
rollout.
rolling out the coming soon right now. Coming in June. We about to finish it. I've just finished it up. We about to put it in and get a release date. Mm-hmm. So y'all go and pick that up. It's all original music, all unreleased tracks, all good creative music. Ain't gonna be no fillers on there. They all gonna be hot.
No
And
skips.
we gonna follow it up with the city to city tour for it, and we're gonna have all those artists come out and perform for you guys. We're gonna have a listening party, all of that. So y'all just stay tuned for all of that. Check out the Maximillion Top 20 Indie Artist Countdown every Saturday night, 8 to 10, and every Tuesday, 10 to midnight. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you for joining me today.
You're welcome.
My name is LexC.
I'm Maximillion.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Until next time, peace.
We don't need any distraction.